Hey guys, I'm here with another podcast from Profit for Contractors. I hope you guys are doing great. I'm just sitting here in the office getting ready to head out in the next little bit. It's Friday. It's a little bit, chilly outside. We actually had snowfall today. Imagine that, snowfall in May. Pretty crazy. I was actually out early this morning doing some hunting around, I guess around 4 o'clock in the morning. Call me crazy, but didn't have any luck catching a turkey, but what I did have luck with was having some really good thoughts that I can bring to the table with you guys today. And what I wanted to talk about was focusing in on the prize. One of the biggest challenges that we have is how do we stay focused? And especially in the times that we're in right now, we've got a lot of distractions, a lot of things going on. And I wanted to bring a little bit of an analogy to you guys and see if I can use a little bit of technology for my analogy to draw out for you what I'm talking about as far as focusing in on the prize. And when we're talking about focusing in on the prize, I'm talking about like how do we ensure that our business maximizes its profits? How do we? What are some of the tactics? What do we got to do to make sure that we set ourselves up for the best success in making profits right across all aspects of our business? And how do we make sure to not lose focus, right, on the prize, which is really getting more and more profits, and getting more profits allows us to pay for more freedom, right? It allows us to do more and more things. So that's what we're going to be talking about here today. So let me bring up my little iPad here. I'm going to share this with you guys, and I'm going to show you my art skills. Not really the best, but they will serve the purpose for today's session. So let me just pull this baby up. So what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to show you this nice little iPad of mine. It's a great little technology, by the way. On a completely separate note, maybe I'll spend some time on different technology hacks that you can use for your contracting business. This is definitely one of them. How to use an iPad virtually with a prospect or a client to walk through something. So I'm going to do that today with you guys. But again, our focus today is all about getting rid of uncertainty and really focusing in on what? Focusing on the prize. Focusing in on the prize with our eyes. Okay, and I've got this analogy for you. We're going to look at this like a vehicle. Okay, here's the reality of the situation. You're either going to be in the back seat of this vehicle, right here. This is either going to be you in the back seat, and that back seat. Actually, it's not even the back seat. That's not the back seat. What am I talking about? Come on, Andrew. That's the trunk, man. That is totally the trunk. So you're either going to allow yourself to go and get into the trunk. And the trunk usually is associated with us being distracted because we're so caught up in this current situation, and it almost creates a sense of fear. Our clients could be in it as well. Our team could be in it as well. But right now, today, we're talking about you. And if you're in a state of fear, a lot of times what fear stands for, I love the acronym of fear. It's not 100%, but it applies in most cases, is false expectations appearing real. So what's that mean? That means that we get so caught up in something that we go from this uncertainty, like what's going to happen. We watch the news too much, and that uncertainty all of a sudden, festers and grows into fear. And fear sometimes will actually paralyze somebody. Like you think about it for a second. When somebody, say you had to, your life depended on it, right? And you had to get from this building that's a high rise across to another building that's a high rise. And the high rise that you're in, it's burning. And you got to get from this point to that point. Let's say it's guaranteed that if you can walk this plank, it's not going to fall over. It's guaranteed, just fictitiously say it's guaranteed that it's going to support your weight. It's not going to fall over. And all you've got to do to live is just to walk the plank. and just get on the other side. Sometimes people, even in a life and death situation, they'll be so paralyzed with fear, they can't walk the plank and they'll burn to death. Well, in business, a lot of times what happens, right, that's the unhappy face, a lot of times what happens is we take our eyes off the wheel, right? We take our eyes off driving this vehicle. That's a pretty bad steering wheel, but you get my idea, right? We don't put the right amount of pressure on the pedal. And we lose control. And we get thrown into the trunk. We're blinded, okay? Some of the symptoms are, we're blinded. We can't see right in front of us. We're paralyzed. We talked about that. Okay? We don't see any options. Okay? And in all honesty, we are in zero control. As a matter of fact, not just zero control, but we're being bounced all over the place and we are in chaos. Okay? You do not want to be in that place. Okay? There are a lot of things going on. I'm not saying that this COVID thing is bullshit by any means. It's real. It's a virus. Absolutely. But if you don't get control of your uncertainty and you let it fester, you're going to fall into the fear mode. You're going to be blinded, paralyzed. You won't feel like there's any options. And you're going to, go from any form of chaos, any form of control into chaos. And sometimes that chaos will lead us into disaster. And disaster because we're not driving our vehicle, okay? Our vehicle of business, our vehicle of life. The path or the place that you could be in that's not as bad as the trunk, but it's still not good, okay, is the back seat. Right? And a back seat, right? A backseat person, you hear a backseat driver, right? The backseat driver is going, hey man, turn left. Oh, you're going too fast or you're going too slow. No, picture that's you, right? And you're giving signals, trying to steer the vehicle, but you just can't reach it. It's just too far away. You're a backseat driver, right? You are going out of control. And not only are you going out of control, okay, but everybody else is driving you, right? So you're under everybody else's agenda. Okay, and why? Because you've taken your eye off of the steering wheel. And you've actually, in doing that, it's throwing you into the back seat, all because of these, let's call it distractions, right? Right around here, we start getting really distracted. Right? The neighbors, knocking on the door, hey man, what's happening with you guys? I got to stay away. You get all these phone calls. You get, all these family members giving you rings around, oh, this is so bad, we can't see you. And I'm not saying that's bad. I mean, listen, I got a father and a mother that I love to death. My dad's got a little bit of a dementia, and I'd really love to see my dad. He's like he's in his 80s. My mom's in her late 70s, and it sucks. Like it really does suck. Okay, see my brothers, my bros, my friends. Seeing my kids not be able to hang out with their friends, do sports, go to school, socialize, right? All those things, though, they start going around and around in our head. And they distract us. They distract us and they take our eyes off the prize, which is being in the driver's seat. Okay? When you're in the driver's seat, that's where you want to be. And it's more important than ever to be in the driver's seat. And when you're in the driver's seat, again, I'm not going to cover off every single thing here, but I'm just going to highlight to you some of the key things that you need to be focusing in on. Like focusing in on so that you can obtain and achieve the prize. Okay? And that prize is getting your business. What's the prize? The prize is, I'm going to break it down into 3 core things. And you've probably heard me say this before. And I say it again and again. Why? Because these are things I really believe you guys want. So if we look at this, I think there's 3 main reasons. The prize is getting more control. Whoops. The prize is getting more freedom from your business. Okay, not a prison sentence. And the prize is getting more wealth. Right? And that's the prize. There's lots of other prizes out of it, leaving a legacy and things of that nature, but really control, freedom, and wealth is what we can get out of our business if we allow our profits to pay for our freedom, pay to put the right systems in to be in control, to be able to afford that, have the profits, to have the wealth that we want, live the lifestyle that we want, and do things the way that we want it, our way, right? So when you're not in the driver's seat, okay, whether it's the back seat, whether it's the trunk, I just thought of this. Or how about this one? This would be bad news, right? Or you're on the roof, right? Like you're being thrown all over the place. And not only are you in fear, but man, you're probably feeling like you're probably getting bruises. Your fingers are probably bleeding from trying to hang on. You get the idea, right? Like it's really hurting. It's really painful. It's literally having an effect of like, I'm going to die. Like this is it. Like, this is a disaster. In business, that'd be like going bankrupt, right? The business going away. So here's the thing. When you are focused in on the prize with your eyes, what you start to see is a beautiful dashboard. Picture that we got this dashboard, guys. And this dashboard is sitting right in front of us. And here's some of the things that we got to be focusing in on. If we're looking at the dials in the dashboard of our car, or otherwise known as dials in the cockpit, right? We got to make sure that no matter what we are, and look, there's quite a few dials here. Like we got 1, 2, 3, right? We got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's more dials than that, but this is a very good starting point for what you need to make sure that you're focusing in on. You need to make sure, guys, that you are pricing. Okay? Your jobs, when we're looking at this, that you're pricing jobs for clients that are profitable. So in essence, we are looking at profitable clients. Right? People that see us as being valuable. This is super critical for you guys. I'm going to be doing some more training on this and laying out a really amazing model to give you guys the insights you need to leapfrog and go from decades to days and really use this as an amazing opportunity to grow and scale your contracting company. But with that being said, when we're looking at making sure we have profitable clients, the reality of the situation is that, right now we're in this time frame of like, here's the now, okay? And a lot of you guys, you've got work, okay? You're busy, okay? And as soon as the floodgates open, I'm trying to think in my head, how could I draw a set of floodgates? I don't know. Let's just say that this here is a gate. I don't know, that doesn't even look like a gate, but let's just say it's a floodgate. And it opens up and water starts pouring out like this. And you're already a little bit busy, if not, already busy. Especially this neck of the woods, in North America, it's springtime. The frost has come out of the ground. People are looking at doing their projects that they've been thinking about. They've had lots of time to think about it because they've been home for a while. And now if you're a little bit busy or any sort of form of busy, it is just going to come in like a tsunami, okay? Like a massive, massive wave of opportunity, or it's going to be a massive wave that's going to crush you. Okay? And really, what we want to do is we want to make sure right now, what you've got to do is make sure that you're dealing with the right clients. And that starts with the current clients that you guys have. Make sure you take care of the current clients first. Before I start coughing, let me have some water. Okay? Before we look at the new clients. New clients come second. Okay? And if you don't have the right way to filter, definitely, guys, click on the link below. You can get some more information. The link below is the Contractors Workshop. Gives you guys a lot of the training, the tools, the tips that will address each one of these sections that I go through. The next one, guys, that we got to look at is we got to make sure that we are doing what? That we are pricing profitably. Pricing. Okay? Getting the right clients is one thing. You can get the right clients, but if you don't know how to price your jobs properly, if you don't know what to include, if you don't know all the different aspects of how to break it out so that you can actually have profitable running jobs. Okay? If you don't do this, you notice that each one of these is feeding the next, right? If you don't price your jobs properly, if you don't break it down, you're not going to be able to break it down so that people know what defines a win and a loss when they go to run the job, right? And the next thing that we want to look at is when we're running these jobs, we want to make sure that we are profitably back costing. Whoops. Okay, back costing these jobs. What's back costing? It's looking back on the job. Hopefully you're doing this while the job is running and ensuring that how you quoted it is how it's being ran, is how it's being done to ensure that you're profitable. And in conjunction with all this, we want to make sure that we're invoicing, right, to collect the profits. Right? And the final step that we want to look at, okay, these are all dials in the cockpit. This is all dials in the driver's seat that you need to be looking at. These are dials that when you look at, they enable you to make the right decisions. Instead of, the engine blowing up, you can get that indicator, or even less than that. Imagine driving your car and you're not able to look at the gas gauge. Just one of those gauges. If it's gone, you're going to be driving to a certain degree blind, right? And we can't afford that. And the last thing is profitably delivering. What do I mean by that? Delivering a good, if not best, service to your clients so that they give you repeat business, so that we can start this cycle all over again and gain more and more profits. They refer us to other people that are like them, more A-grade clients, and that allows us to keep on building upon our foundation of profitability. Okay, so guys, look, this is sort of like the key things we got to focus on, or what we covered off today is focusing on the prize. The prize is profits. You don't want to be in the trunk, okay? Locked up, in the dark, blinded, paralyzed, having no options, going from control to chaos to eventually disaster. You battered and bruised. You definitely don't want to be on the roof. That's a pretty scary place to be. And, God forbid you get thrown off. Sometimes you get thrown off your game, getting thrown off your business, and you'll never recover. Like, honestly, it's some pretty bad stuff. And I'm not just talking about the financial aspects of it. I'm talking about like the impact of all the time you spend away from your family, all the stress, all the extra hours you put in, all the sacrifice, right? But if we get in this driver's seat instead of the back seat, right, where we can, and again, the back seat is like you're there, you know what you want to do, but in essence, a good analogy of the backseat is that everybody in your company is running the business except for you. Right? They all have their own way of running the business. So you got a whole bunch of these micro little businesses because everybody has their own definition of the rules of the game, of what their role is, of what communication is, of what culture is, and it's just a bloody gong show, right? And the only person that's doesn't have a game plan is you. Okay? You don't want that. You're the owner. We got to get you in the driver's seat. And when you're in that driver's seat, or to be in that driver's seat, or to look at what are the things in that driver's seat, we got to have a dashboard, okay? We got to have profitable clients, right? Got to have profitable clients. We got to make sure we're pricing our jobs properly and profitably, more importantly. You got to make sure we're profitably running our jobs. And we got to make sure, number 4, so number 1, again, just to be clear, if you're not able to see what I'm drawing here and you're just listening in,